Hey everyone, welcome to yet another mod of the RGB20SX. I am a little bit obsessed with this handheld. As you can see at the back there, that purple handheld is a pretty extreme mod I did. That is a complete shell replacement that I did. The screen is out, like it's popped out, it's not recessed. There's a whole lot that went into there. Separate new buttons that were made, same D-pad, but like all the buttons were replaced. There's a little bit of like software issues with because we had to remove the joysticks. So that was a pretty extreme mod. This is a much more sort of low-key mod, and I've redone this. This is the second time I'm doing this. I'll put the person's name on the screen who developed this. They have a Ko-fi page, where you can go and support them. There were a few issues with the initial one, and that was the fact that we had two of these. So essentially what he's done with the design is just cut it out. And with the original one with 4 buttons here, it was just too weak at the back here. Even now, you can see like, you know, it creates a weakness there. So I do think they have a no button mod, but I think this is the sort of in-between compromise, and they've put this for rigidity here. So this is a pretty good one. And originally I did the yellow with my yellow one, and the previous mod was I did this in yellow and the color didn't match, so I wasn't super happy with that mod. So today what I did was I asked LITNXT, thank you so much for sending the RGB20SX. I've got links for this product for LITNXT in the description below. They're not sponsoring this video, but I just want to share that they have free international shipping. So very often it works out easier, sometimes even cheaper to buy from them than to buy from the manufacturer websites. So for instance, Powkiddy, it is cheaper on their website, but it takes forever. For instance, I ordered the Powkiddy V90S, which is still in the post to me. The V90X arrived from LITNXT like 2 weeks ago, and they sent it to me after I ordered the one from Powkiddy. So definitely worth checking them out for especially like shipping issues to your country and just deals, regular deals. They gave me a coupon code, and I'll put the coupon code in the description below. So let's get into this. This is essentially just an issue of unscrewing it. So we have our little J-Zorks screwdriver, and I'm just gonna unscrew the back here. So the reason I like this as a mod is because this is a square screen, and it is such a nice form factor for sort of Game Boy DMG style emulator. So I highly recommend the RGB20SX for this. And in doing the full shell replacement, I discovered that ArcOS is a wonderful, so not the stock operating system, the ArcOS that you get from ArcOS and you install on here is a wonderful operating system for this. It has a new like MinUI style theme, and so you can give it a MinUI look, but then it has all the functions of ArcOS. So really nice way to go about doing this mod. Generally, what you should do is get a pry tool, but this should just, yeah, it should just pop open. Now you can see, Powkiddy, you can see the glue through here, which is really ugly. Anyway, there, and then there's a wire attaching the battery. So we're just gonna detach the battery here. All right, so we're gonna pry the battery. Careful, this glue or whatever they use is quite intense, really intense. We're going to end up with a lot less adhesive, which I like, because then we're not going to have that weird sticky look. Just to mention, this was made by PCBway. I added it to an order for a sponsored video that they did. So this is very, very nice quality. This is one of the best ones they've sent me. So I will put the specs that I used for this because this is definitely a little success story. So I would like to thank them for this lovely 3D print. PCBway do a bunch of stuff, including these great high quality 3D prints that feel almost like injection molding. So definitely check out the 3D prints available from PCBway. They also do custom PCBs. They also do like CNC milling. I even saw you can print in metal. Good grief, imagine. So go check out PCBway. Thanks so much to them for sponsoring the channel. I really appreciate it. The reason I went with these colors is because I knew that Powkiddy had this clear matte version. And I knew that if I do a translucent clear matte version from PCBway, it's gonna match up fairly well, not amazingly, but fairly well. So, you know, we've still got a pretty serious discrepancy in the look, but it kind of matches, you know, so I knew that this was still gonna look really nice together. Anyway, so these little clips, just chop them off. There you go. Okay. So I'm just gonna go around and chop all those off, because all that is doing, it's quite a like precision work from Powkiddy. And because we have 3D printed, we've got some issues with the precision of the ridge, and also John Triger's screw holes go all the way flush across, so it doesn't work. Okay, so now we can put the battery back there, and then just close it up. And now we shouldn't have any issues. Yeah, they now can close nicely. All right, so let's get the screws in there. And what I would say is just be very careful here, because again, like I mentioned, this is a 3D print. I did comment to John with the previous design that the tracer hole, the hole for the screws, I wasn't getting my screw into they weren't going all the way through enough. So let's see if it's improved on this new version of his. I'm gonna do it stage by stage here. Okay, so here the screw's not even going into the correct place. So I'm just guiding it. Okay, that definitely went in the correct place. Just maneuvering it so that we get into the place where the screw needs to grip. A little bit of coaxing required, yeah? Okay, so I'm actually bending it a little bit just to guide that screw into place. And then don't over tighten, because you will lose your thread and then it's just disaster. That's what happened in the last mod. It's tighten that you feel it's got a grip, and then just kind of back off a bit. Yeah, there we go. I made it. Yes. This is a bit precarious because, you know, imperfections of the 3D print sometimes could be an issue. Okay, it does feel like all the screws have gone in. So that's good, because last time it did, they didn't. So, but what I did was I made sure that visually I could see, especially the corners, I could see the screws going into the correct place. So pros and cons, this is compared to my full body shell replacement, this is cheaper. This is a cheaper mod. You don't have to take the sticks off. So I know a lot of people do prefer the sticks. I wanted one like this one. I actually use. I know it's on the shelf here, but I regularly take that off and play Game Boy. So you get to keep the sticks. You get to keep the buttons. So one of the things about modding the buttons is that these buttons just don't feel. They feel like modded buttons. You know what I mean? They feel like we've added them, whereas this just feels like proper buttons. The D-pad is a little bit loose in here. That's not as loose. We've had to bring the screen out here, which I kind of like. I like the look of that, but this is not recessed. And then this is a little bit chunkier, which I think I actually prefer. We don't have as much of a bow here. The color matching that I've done works fairly well. And overall, you just end up with the chunky Game Boy style handheld. With this one, we've lost dual SD card support. We've lost the HDMI out, which are all things for the sort of bespoke Game Boy aficionado. You know, all of that, I love that about that. But I know that a lot of people who follow this channel don't like that. And then just to quickly show you this, I found a purple MINU style theme. Let me quickly, it's the MINU Arc OS. I had to download it, add it to the thing, and then install it. So look up MINU Arc and then find out how to install it on here. It is really nice. So overall, I think this is a lovely one. So go check out John Triger's coffee page, and then I recommend ArcOS, or I know also LITNXT is available for this, but I really like ArcOS with MINU Arc on it. So that's what I'm going to do on this one. And it is a pretty sturdy mod. I'm noticing here there's a little bit of play, but overall, I think the thing to iterate with this is that when you do these mods, it's never going to be like the perfect. This is injection molded in a factory. Like this is precision. This is a 3D print. So as much as I say it's precision for a 3D print. And so this is a resin print, and it really is lovely. And I'm very happy with this. I think It's not going to replace this. This is still like a beautiful work of art, and I'm very happy with that. But if you don't want too much fuss, like here, sometimes in RetroArch, the menu doesn't work. I did an update and it still didn't fix it. So, you know, if you don't want too much fuss and it's a little bit cheaper, go for this mod. Thanks, John Triger, for this little one.